DOGE lives on. Congressional Republicans adamant the agency's efforts to expose waste, fraud, and abuse are alive and well.
Our very own Grady Trimble has more from Capitol Hill.
Dagan and Brian, the latest target for rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse is the Small Business Administration. Republicans on the Senate's Small Business Committee say that agency is rife with waste, fraud, and abuse. They held a hearing today featuring the CEO of the government spending watchdog Open the Books, who provided specific examples of all three of those things that take place within the SBA, including a combined $645 million in questionable SBA loans to kids under the age of 12 and people over 115 years old, and $105 million in loans to country clubs, yacht clubs, tennis, and other private clubs. Even though these examples happened under the previous administration, the top Democrat on the committee attacked President Trump.
If we're serious about cutting waste, crushing fraud, helping small businesses, let's start at the top. The president's handouts to his billionaire buddies aren't just corruption and an abuse of power. It's theft. Theft from small businesses, theft from hardworking Americans.
In a recent podcast interview, Elon Musk, who used to head up DOGE, said that it was only somewhat successful, adding he wouldn't do it again. But the chair of the Small Business Committee, Senator Joni Ernst, wants to carry on DOGE's mission.
DOGE is alive and well. People care about this. Elon Musk may not be heading it up anymore. It was great to have him as our headliner to get it off the ground. But now that it is rolling in the agencies, I am hopeful we'll see it continue well on into the future.
Senator Ernst is calling for a pause to an SBA program for socially and economically disadvantaged small business owners. She says that it needs to be audited, and while that happens, those loans should be halted. Dagan, Brian?
Grady, thank you very much for that. All right, for more, let's bring in Senate DOGE caucus member and Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, nice to see you. I'm very glad to hear that DOGE lives on in some way, shape, or form. But I got to tell you, with Grady's report there and some of the figures that he's talking about in terms of wasted money coming out of these SBA programs, my thought is, don't you just need to shut off the spending spigot quite a bit until you get your hands around what's really going on here?
Well, that sounds like a great plan to me, and I want to applaud Senator Joni Ernst for her continued persistence.